Carla will briefly tell us about the e-learning platform that was made jointly with 4 other organizations on looking at the issue of climate change. Um, um, and of course, Navdanya has worked on the food and climate part of it. And Lena Mek will join us too, who worked with us to create a game on climate, to engage with the youth. And we would like to look at more tools and more innovative tools to engage on this issue. So Lena will come into and talk about this game and show us this game. I will hand over to you, Carla, then, and then we'll be back.
Hi again, everyone. So after this very important and riveting session, in relation to all of the questions of what can we do and where can we learn more and figure out some more effective solutions and more holistic solutions to our climate crisis, the ClimAlt project has been focusing exactly on this. So the ClimAlt project is an educational project on climate co-financed by the EU within the Erasmus Plus project. And it was carried out by 4 partner organizations, which include ASUD in Italy, DOR in Croatia, Zamita in Bulgaria, and Play Agency in Denmark, as well as Navdanya International. And the ClimAlt project's aim was to particularly raise awareness among the youth around these issues of climate change and the various debates, especially focused on promoting youth empowerment by enhancing the critical view of these multiple aspects of climate change, and raising issue on the causes, the effects, and the real and false solutions, both in the global arena and being played out in individual countries, to inspire the youth and all of the participants of the ClimAlt project to become real vectors and actors of change. So we because we understand that an issue as complex as climate change needs a variety of different perspectives and voices, we brought together these 4 organizations from 4 different EU countries, and they each worked on a different issue linked to the climate crisis. So the different themes highlighted were food and agriculture systems, energy, waste, the scientific basis of the climate crisis, and the different policy frameworks that are set up or that are being negotiated in order to mitigate the climate crisis. As part of the overall project, Navdanya International was specifically responsible for the food and agriculture systems aspect of this project. The initial project began in January 2019, and has involved over 130 youth from ages 20 to 30 from a variety of different European countries. And the activities that they were involved in was an online course with a certification for completing the course, 4 different thematic webinars, different youth trainings, and so on. So here you can start to see the online course that was part of the project. So the online course is available in 4 different languages, in English, Bulgarian, Croatian, and Italian. And after the success of the online course through the initial project, it has now become an open e-learning platform available to anyone and everyone who wants to learn more about these issues. And its purpose was to capacitate any trainers on climate change issues, youth workers, youth, educators, activists, concerned citizens. And the intention was to sort of help build this knowledge around the different stakeholders involved, as well as exploring innovative experiences and concrete local examples and concrete local actions that can be taken for climate change. So each module of the course, it contains different video lectures, quizzes, readings, and 1 assignment for each of the modules. The main topics covered during the lectures include climate change science, energy consumption, food systems, the fossil fuel economy as a driver of climate change, the environmental and socioeconomic impacts, policy frameworks, as already mentioned, international climate agreements and their different negotiations or failures of negotiations, climate justice, circular economy, zero waste, and so on. Each different language version of the course is finalized with a different in-depth 90-minute webinar based on the different best practices of dealing with climate change alternatives. And the webinars provided content on how civil society, as well as public and activist organizations, can proactively contribute to tackling climate change. They were based on also showing concrete examples from projects with an emphasis on solutions and holistic solutions, and specifically covered the interconnections between COVID-19 and climate change, agroecology and climate change, EU funds to achieve energy goals, and practical solutions for domestic heating and cooling systems as well. And again, given the initial success of the course with the 130 youth that were trained and certified, the open e-learning platform was developed and is now available to anyone who is interested in these topics, who was left inspired by this conversation, and who's looking to be able to do more. And here, again, you can learn more about how to expand your knowledge, how to connect with a community of people all kind of working on this issue, and stay involved. We are also available on our ClimAlt Facebook page. Sign up and join the e-course. Please sign up and join our Navdanya campaigns that are actively working on true systemic solutions to climate change. And lastly, as a very special kind of end of our ClimAlt project, the ClimAlt partnership under Play Agency's leadership imagined, designed, and released a game aimed at stimulating youth's constructive outlook towards climate change solutions. The game provides a deeper understanding of the key topics through firsthand experience and experimentation. And this is our global launch of this game. So I hand it over to Lena to share more with us about it. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I am Lena from Play Agency from Denmark. And I'm just going to briefly introduce you the game and also maybe a bit of background and show you how it looks like. It was an interesting process that we went through working on this game, because myself, I'm a game designer, so I'm not an expert in climate change or the solutions to the climate crisis. So I was learning along the way of what is actually happening in the world. And then I was bringing my own expertise in creating playful experiences, in using design to engage people and to get them curious about the subject. And that was one of the biggest things that I think we brought with the game, is that it is enticing people to think more about climate crisis. I just want to say up front, it's not there, because there's different types of games. There can be games that look very deeply into explaining one specific topic, and you really can understand through playing, you can understand what's going on. Our approach was a bit more open and a bit more playful, to more spread the word about what is happening in the world, and especially what can we do about it. So I'm just gonna share my screen. Yeah. So we created a game called Climate Hero Game, Small Actions for Big Impact, and I think that's also the subtitle, Small Actions for Big Impact, is really important, because we are very much aware that these small things that we ask people to do are not going to change the world immediately, but it's small, tiny actions that people, that get people thinking, you know, get people to realize, oh, actually, even me as a, I don't know, as a youth, as a 15-year-old, 20-year-old, I can do something. It's not that I'm just, you know, I can, it's just all has to be politicians, it all has to be people with money, it all has to be corporations. I can actually do something and help as well. So if you want to access it afterwards, it's called climateherogame.com. That's the website. And there you can also, of course, read a bit more about it, also see how to play in a way, but I will also explain it to you. So you can go through, we came up with 4 different themes, which was reflecting also the different expertise of the partners of the project, of the ClimAlt project. And it also reflected the 4 aspects of what we feel like is important in addressing different ways of looking at climate crisis. So one was connect with nature, then circular economy, energy and transport, and food and agriculture. And the way it works is that the way the game works is that you get a challenge from somebody. Originally, it was designed as a card game, so you would actually get a physical card from somebody, and on it you would get a challenge. And for example, one challenge can be plant a seed. So grow a local plant from seed. It can be a herb, a flower, or something else, and then share the fruits of your labor with somebody and give them this challenge. So the idea was for you to get inspired to do this, like just this tiny little small thing, and then move it forward. So give the challenge to somebody else as well. And then on the same card, you also got a link to this website where afterwards you can read a bit further about why is this challenge important. And then also it links to, afterwards it also links to the course itself. And then, yeah, you can also, like, you could also share it in other ways. Yeah, my internet is a bit slow since with the Zoom. So yeah, and so we have very different actions, and it was really interesting to work on that because how do we? There was a very interesting challenge between me as a game designer who really looks into how to engage people, how to make people interested and playful and make them to have fun. And on the other hand, we had people from the from the different organizations, of course, and their goal was to share the knowledge, to actually give people real actions that actually have real impact. So we have different levels, one would say, of actions. So for example, it is plant a seed, go for a walk. That one is that we invite people to go for a walk and collect trash on the way. But then it can also some of the actions are like join a movement. So join some sort of demonstration, get people to join you as well, or compost, for example, or calculate your footprint. So these actions were very different in different levels. And I invite you to just check them out, check it out on the website called climatehero.com. It's as well the same thing as as was with the course. We have it in 4 different languages: the Bulgarian, Croatian, Italian, and English. And you're welcome to have a look, get inspired for your own actions, share them with others. Or just if you're just curious, you can also just see the background information of them to learn more about the different aspects of how you can also help change the world, basically. Thank you.
Thank you, Lena, and thank you for taking us briefly through this game. As Lena said, this group and alliance of organizations come from different backgrounds, and Lena, with her expertise in gaming, and this is one of the things that Navdanya is trying to do, is to work at creating hubs, alliances, platforms. A reason for some of our discussions and webinars is also that, is to create these platforms where groups who would normally not have an immediate stake in, or seem to not have an immediate stake in each other's interests, can find a common ground and converge. And this is really what we're talking about also in the discussion today on Zoom. So many of us are doing a lot of action on the ground, a lot of local action on the ground, and what is our challenge to connect this local action into an integrated movement. Issues like climate change, are do not have isolated causes and effects, and have been caused by a lot of coordinated action by many of the agents that Nicoletta, Vandana, and we've been talking about, and does require a coordinated global response. So, whether it is through tools like games, like through this course, like through this webinar, and our action, our grassroots work on the ground, we are hoping to create this connected or facilitate the creation of this connected movement. We would love to hear from you more on this. If you have your ideas, Carla shared the Miro board. Let us know if you have other ideas, other suggestions, other feedback. We have some leading questions also on the Miro board. Lena spoke about some of the actions that we have talked about in the game, and we hope through this we could also start and engage in a more critical understanding on some of these actions. What are some of these actions that are talked about by climate change? Is it only individuals? What is the role of the state? What is the role of the government agencies? When we talk about solutions and we talk about actions, what is their impact ecologically? Are they addressing root causes? Are these actions or so-called solutions community owned or corporate controlled? So I hope we can engage with each other more on this, and create a longer discussion, and joint action. We will be in touch with all of you also on the joint action against the Food Systems Summit. So thank you very much, and thank you to the Navdanya International team. Thank you, Dr. Shiva. Thank you, Nicoletta. Thank you, Lena, for joining us. And thank you to the Navdanya International team, Cristiano, Elisa, Carla, Marion, for putting together this workshop and discussion today. We will stay in touch with you, and you can write to us at info@navdanyainternational.org. And thank you for joining us.